Unico 26 releases, Casi-NO-cade is back, and the iArcade burns it down on the way out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, the show we talk about what happened this week in home arcades. And wow, do we got a doozy. So, of course, to take on the doozy of the day of the show that we have, we're going to go to the bottle, which is where you should get all your support, right? No, not really. That's not real advice. Disregard that. But this is what I'm drinking, just in case you're wondering. We're sticking with the Jeffersons this week. Let's turn the label around. There we go. Sticking with the Jeffersons small batch. Let me know what you're drinking in the chat, in the comments section. Have I turned any of you on to bourbon? Anybody? Anybody at all? Are you just drinking whatever you were drinking before you started watching the show? It's fine. No judgment here. I'm just asking. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. So had a whirlwind week myself. Left a little bit late. I left on Tuesday, not Monday like I usually do. Went down to Orlando. Had some really long nights and got back late Friday night. I guess I probably made it to the house about 9:30, 9:45. And I just found out on Thursday, so before I got home on Friday, that I got to go to Puerto Rico tomorrow. Well, that's just neat. It sounds good on paper. It's not good in reality. So that's where I'm going next week. Monday, should be back Friday. I hope that I'm going to actually get a week of just being, in town so I can get some stuff done. On the positive side, I had a productive weekend, got a lot of stuff done on the arcade. Probably going to try to put a video together tomorrow morning, get that out to you so you can kind of see the update, where we're at on that. Good things are happening, moving forward, not as fast as I like, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm going to stretch this out just as long as possible, I guess. But no, made some pretty good progress there. So we got a poll question. Every week we have a poll question in the chat, and it's one that I need to kind of clarify a little bit. So the question seems simple. The question is simply this: are you buying the Casi-NO-cade? I guess the official now Casi-NO-cade at full retail price. Now the full retail price is $5.99. I think. We'll talk about why there's some confusion later on, but at $5.99 being the current full retail price. Are you going to buy that? You're going to buy that thing. You're going to get that thing? Well, there you go. So we've got 61 votes. Interesting, to say the least. I'm curious where you're going to kind of fall on this one. We're going to line up. Let me know what you think about that. I have an opinion that I will share a little bit later in the show. But yeah, are you buying the Casi-NO-cade at full retail price, the current full retail price of $5.99? Just curious to see. I think I'm asking the question because I want to kind of gauge excitement. Who has really been anticipating this cabinet? Who's been all about it? So I want to know because you can definitely tell the people that are excited by the ones that buy it day one, full retail. Other things that went on, I saw a movie. I think actually the first question in the chat, we're going to address this in a second. And they announced that the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, is going to be available for Nintendo Switch. There's a little bit of a, doubt out there. I mean, we kind of figured PS5, Xbox, sure, Steam, okay. But the Nintendo Switch was kind of an outlier. A lot of people, crossing their fingers and hoping like hell. RGT85 was really excited about the potential. And yes, it is official. So they're going to be releasing that. It's not available yet for pre-order, but I'm really excited about it. Am I going to get it on Switch? I do like playing in handheld mode, but for me personally, Metal Gear Solid games have always been better with a PlayStation controller. So, the PS1 controller, the PS2 controller, the PS3 controller, and the PS4 too. That's fine. Whatever. That other game that's not voiced by Mr. Hater, Mr. David Hater, Kiefer Sullivan. What are you doing? Anyway, that's a topic for another discussion. Topic for another day. But yeah, so that's coming out on Switch. So that's exciting, interesting. So that's good. So that just means that more people can actually get this thing. I might buy it on Switch and still get it on PS5. I don't know. I'm just that crazy. I'm just that nuts. Kind of a big fan of the franchise. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before. Metal Gear Solid is kind of a good thing. Kind of something I'm looking forward to. That Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, Snake Eater, The Revenge of Snake. I don't know. It's just it's just going to be called. I don't know what it's called. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. I don't know why they added that. It doesn't make any sense. Just call it remake, or just do what Resident Evil did. Just call it Resident Evil 2, but then you know, just kind of give it like a little bit of a cool kind of look to it. Like the logo was slightly different, you know, but it's basically Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 3. I mean, just call it Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Adding the triangle, not sure if anybody really knows what you're talking about there. So anyway, we got the drink in hand. We got the busy week behind us. We got a busy week in front of us. And now I want to say hi to everybody that is in the chat, at least most of you, everyone that has decided to stop by and comment. And the number one comment, the first one coming in is Wrights Retrocade, 11 a.m. Not too shabby. You were right on the money because I think I set the stream up at like 10:45. So you were right there. Good man. So your question is, how was The Flash? So I did see The Flash. That was the movie I saw this week. My kids weren't excited about it. I didn't blame them. I wasn't super excited about it, but come on, Michael Keaton's Batman. I had to give it a shot in theater. There's a lot of weird talk out there. There's a lot of people saying they didn't like it and this and that, and no spoilers here at all. But I give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was good. I mean, a lot of people are hating it. I know it's doing just horrible at the box office. I think the biggest problem for that movie, besides the fact that your main character, your main actor, is a lunatic, an insane person, but besides that, I guess that would be the number one reason. The second reason is just that the fact that DC doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They pull the plug on their cinematic universes almost as soon as they start them. So, there was no big anticipation for this movie as far as how is it going to tie into a bigger cinematic universe like Marvel did. Marvel did a great job of that. For 10 years strong, they were killing it. Captain Marvel notwithstanding, that was a great series of movies, great cinematic universe. But it just, for me, I think that was probably, Ezra Miller is an insane person, but then the fact that they just kind of pulled the plug on the DCEU, there was nothing, we're not going to see Darkseid. We're not going to see the story move forward at all. This movie was just like, it's kind of like Aquaman 2. It's like the last remaining remnants of the Snyder universe, which is so sad. We're not going to get to see that, the Snyderverse. That Snyder cut is an excellent cut of Justice League. It's probably the only cut I would even recommend watching because the other cut is just absolutely horrible. But The Flash, 7 out of 10. It's worth checking out. It really is worth it, especially if you're a kid who remembers the Michael Keaton movies. Those Batman movies, they don't trash the character. They really don't trash any of the characters. And Ezra Miller is not that bad in the movie. I mean, have you seen the previews? If you've seen the commercials, trailers, there's two Ezras. One is a little bit more annoying than the other one, but I don't know. It wasn't a problem for me. It wasn't a problem with me. So the biggest problem though, I think, besides the two that I listed, I think inside the movie is the CGI is not that great. The CGI is really rough, but overall 7 out of 10. It's definitely worth checking out. Thank you so much for the comment. Dan Z is in the house. Hi there, Fox. How you doing? Good to see you, man. The Corner Cade. What's up, man? What's up, Fox? Are you getting the Casi-NO-cade? I'll answer that question a little bit later. I'm very lucky to be getting a review unit on this. Oh, nice. RK, I want to reach out to you and send you that's cool. Well, sort of. My friend is getting it and will let me do the unboxing and review on this. I don't think you know how review units work, but that's, I'm excited to get somebody in the community to get their eyes on it, get their hands on it and check it out. So yeah, happy for you, man. Glad you're going to get a chance to unbox this bad boy. Beach Native 78 says, what's up, Foxy in chat? It's my favorite part of Sunday. Oh, I appreciate that. I can't wait for tonight's show. Do you think they will re-release the MVSX with a 19-inch screen and online play? What I want them to do is re-release the MVSX with the 20-inch or 26-inch monitor. That's what I want them to do. That would solve a lot of my problems. I'm trying to find a Neo Geo cab right now, and it's not easy. Well, I take that back. It's easy to find it. It's not that easy to justify the cost. I had one standout just recently happen, and I've really been kind of toying with the idea, but I've already picked up 2 full-size cabs this year so far, trying to save some room in the budget for, I don't know, if RK1-Up comes out with anything decent. And then I got this arcade I'm building. So it's kind of tough. So if they would just re-release the MVSX, but with the 26-inch monitor, so the form factor obviously changes, goes wider, goes taller. Damn, I'd be all about that. Well, of course, depends on the price, but I don't know. You could damn near push a grand, and I don't think anybody would be mad at you about that, especially if you consider the high-low hack, which adds all of the Capcom games. But we're not going to talk about that. That's evidently hacking around here is not something good. It's not something you can just do. Josh McKinley is in the house. Says, "Sup, Fox? I think Time Crisis is going to be being a success is completely dependent on if they nail the gun recoil. By the way, any update on an arcade logistics guide and advice? I want to give that the time that it needs." Josh, I was on the road last week. Going to be on the road this week, so I was only in town for a weekend. I want to sit and give that video the attention that it needs, but it is coming. It might be a short video, but it's definitely going to be it's on the list for sure. Absolutely. Sorry, let me go back to the recoil. Yeah, I think the gun quality in particular. Glenn just did a great video on his channel. The video just premiered today. Check it out, talking about the actual quality of his shotgun versus Arcade 1-Up's really toy, little plasticky feeling guns that they have on the Big Buck Hunter cabinet. And I've had to do some improvements on my for my T2 cabinet. I still really dig the cabinet, but yeah, the quality needs to be upped for sure. But the emulation has got to be good too. Everything else has got to be good. But what are we going to get? Probably exactly the same thing we saw with T2 for sure. Frank D's in the house. Hey, Fox, I got family visiting. I understand. That is the priority. So I'll probably catch you on the replay. No problem, buddy. The video with the little guy playing Star Wars was adorable. Start their love of gaming very young. Absolutely. There was one of the latest short on the channel. My grandson was over here, and every chance I get, I throw some Star Wars at him. And he always wants to grab, one of the arcades. He loves jumping on there. And I think he's really digging that one. He likes the steering wheel, the yoke, he likes yanking on that. So, yeah. Expose him to all the Star Wars I possibly get. The good Star Wars. Original trilogy and prequels. Miss Harris is in the house. How are you, Miss Janine? Good to see you. I am getting the Wheel of Fortune, and I hope it don't keep going up or up. You never know. You might want to lock in your bid quick on that one. Buy a vowel. Just trying to do a Wheel of Fortune tie-in. Didn't work out so well. I'll work on that a little bit better. Maybe next week I'll come up with something a little bit different. Gotham City Arcade's in the house. Hey, Battle. I'll pass. Casi-No-cade. That is trash. My question is, where are the new cabs and titles from Arcade 1-Up? Talk about that a little bit later. Good question. JJ is in the house. Looking forward to another interesting and fun show with at 19K Fox. I hope it's interesting, fun. Really, I would settle for either one of those. But 2 could be too much pressure. Skids is in the house. Fox, my man, did you see Glenn's send-in shotgun? I did. I just talked about it. I would love to shoot some zombies with that thing. Cheers to always entertaining show. Thank you. I was in the chat. I said, where's the Uzi? Come on. What do you, shotgun? Where's the Uzi? Come on. Or a little AR or something, But a shotgun, it's not bad. Especially when you see the size of it. And if it's got the weight that they were talking about in the video, it could be really, really fun. So it looks good. A Tran fanatic is in the house. What's going on? Hey, Fox, I replaced the 2 sensors on the GTP, and no change. Also, the 2 starters I have just clicked while trying. Oh, they're just clicked while you try to crank. So might need a new starter, just one thing, and another with this after another with the stupid car. I know. If your starter's clicking, is it engaging? Are you getting voltage to it, full voltage to it? Your battery, if your battery's low, it might not have enough amps to drive that starter. But if it's clicking, it may not be the end of the road for you. Just give us a little more time. Check it out. Carl is saying, a Tran, the older cars always give us fits. My RV is a 2001. It died on me. Damn, Carl. Turned out the groundhog was chewing on the crank sensor wiring. This is the automotive portion of the show. Hope you like it. Check it out. King Midas in the house. What is going on, man? Tonight's show is looking to be golden. I see what you did there, and I like it. Yeah, King 19K Fox has the Midas touch. Well, moving on. Chris Ford says, good evening, 19K Fox. The price on the Casi-No-cade straight up should be $299, but realistically, no more than $399, period. Absolutely. Head Shake TV is in the house. What's up, Fox? Arcades looking very presentable. Keep up the good work. Why, thank you. I do what I can. Sir Sega says never go full retail. Never go full retail. Kevin Klaus is in the house saying, yo. How you doing, buddy? Donovan Klingel says, what up, Fox? Happy Sunday. How the hell are you? Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Adam is in the house as well. Love the title to this podcast. It's, interesting. At least I hope it is. AWOL 101. What's going on? What up, Sarge? As you were. Gallagher Guy 88. Hey, Fox. enjoying a drink with you, I wouldn't take a Casi-NO-cade at retail price or any price. Not my cup of tea or bourbon in that case. Very good. Very good. I hear you. Nova Sonic 23 says, hello, Fox, and everyone. Absolutely. Saved by the Zero says, sup, lads? Nothing much, just chilling, just kicking it off proper. Dark Empire says, for those about to rock, we salute 19K Fox. Well, AC/DC reference is always good. Always welcome here on the channel for sure. Paul Barris is in the house saying, happy Sunday, Fox. Is that a serious poll question? Yes, I'm very curious about the answer. Tammy G is in the house sipping on some iced coffee. Very nice. Very nice. Wonderful beverage of choice. Midlife Arcade says, yo, happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Show Gecko says, hey, Fox, hope all is well. I'm drinking a Miller Lite. No Bud Light, right? There you go. Miller Lite's not bad for a go-to beer. When you're in a strange place and they got a bunch of weird stuff and you don't know what to try, it's a good one to go for. I am not, I'm not opposed to having a Miller myself from time to time. EJ Lozano, Celsius, tropical vibe. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I don't get the reference. Dr. Jefferson Wadley says, best arcade show I look forward to each week. Drinking wine, sir. Thank you very much. That's high praise. That's very high praise. Soul Red is in the house saying, hey, all, how you doing? Hobby Hands. How you doing, buddy? How are the hands? Keeping up with the hobby? Sorry, it was bad. It was really bad. I hate travel. A lot of time wasted in the air and driving. Yeah. At least when you drive, you have 100% control. Well, you have control over what you do, when you stop, when you can leave in the morning, when you can pull over. So that's a little bit better. I guess you have the illusion of control. Hey, Glenn's Retro Shows in the house. No way. Hell no. So, okay, let me see. No way. Hell no. So I'll put you down for a yes. There we are. Okay, good. Thank you for your commitment to buy. I really do appreciate it. Captain Dino says, as long as it's not as bad as Fast and Furious, no guarantees, my good man. No guarantees. Sean's Retro Arcade, not going to buy it if it was $1. Really? $1? Come on. Take the chance on Wheel of Fortune for $1. You could buy a vowel or something. Oh, here we go. Hey, listen, the pre-order is up to $486. If anybody's on the fence, now's the time. Get your pre-orders in. We got to hit that magical $500 mark so we can get this thing made. Random One is in the house. What up, Fox? Good to see you, man. How you doing? They've stopped by. Saying Spirits is in the house. If you're over 60 and single, pick up a Casi-NO-cade and hit the nurse's home. You're welcome. That's how you get them, huh? That's how you make dreams come true. Brooklyn Menace is in the house. A menace to Brooklyn? I think not. I think you're a blessing to Brooklyn. Absolutely. Blessing to, Brooklyn, as this super chat is a blessing to this show. Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, thank you so much for your $10 super chat, $9.99. What's up, my brother? Hope you're doing well. I am, brother. I hope you are doing well as well. I am not buying the Casi-NO-cade. Huh. Your lack of support, I got to tell you, it's disturbing.
Can't you do any better? This is the overlord!
I'm starting to think that maybe this Casi-NO-cade thing isn't popular. That's so weird. We're going to keep moving on, though. Jimmy Reyes Art says, wasn't going to waste money on Flash. Did see Transformers. Okay. Rise of the Beast and the Blackening. How was Transformers? I liked Bumblebee. I like going back to the Gen 1 era, which was the 80s. And just want to get excited about that. They say, surprise, we're going to the 90s. Why? Stay in the 80s. Stay in the 80s and do some more of that good stuff. But I don't know. It's probably worth a rent, I think. But the Flash, check it out. Listen, if you're on the fence still, maybe check out a matinee or something. Dollar showing at some dollar theater, Weapon X, Logan, how you doing? Let's not stigmatize mental illness tonight. That's right. It is an issue. It is a problem. And it shall not be stigmatized. Did I do that? It's possible. I don't pay attention to half the things I say. Walter Harris is in the house. DC just isn't giving us a reason to care right now. way too easy to just let these movies sink in the theater and catch them free on streaming within a few months. Yeah, it's harder now more than ever to, really justify going to the theater when you have all these streaming services, when you have all these home theaters, when you have some people kind of still stuck in that pandemic sort of mentality, that mindset of it's best to avoid crowds. And, yeah, if you have a cohesive, universe where one movie kind of leads into the other and there's things tying them all together, even if you're not a big fan of the Flash, but you're a big fan of the universe that Flash is in, you'll go watch those movies. That's why all those Marvel movies were good. Not everybody was a huge Captain America fan. Not everybody was a huge Thor fan, but you take the right actor, you put them in this scenario where their movies are going to impact a larger story. People check it out. People go check it out. And then, of course, in credit scenes. In credit scenes are always like one of the number one things. It was a thing. It was a thing that you did. And Marvel, you got to thank Marvel for that. It just was just a thing you had to, we all just sat there, and I was leaving the Flash. I didn't stay for the end credit scene because if there was one, I didn't really care. I'd probably just catch it on YouTube anyway. Everybody just sits there, waiting for the end credits. So, and that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Too bad it was, their effort was wasted on, a cinematic universe that just really isn't sticking together. Phil Harmonix is in the house. What's up, Fox? I'm kind of burnt out on Marvel movies. We need another AVP flick. I said this, if you go way back on my channel, I said this after Endgame. They should have ended it right then and there. Endgame should have ended the MCU. MCU wrapped up. Tony Stark has perished. The universe is saved, and that's it. MCU is done. Okay. And then you restart the MCU, brand new, recast everybody, start all over. Because remember, during that 10-year, 11-year time period, Disney bought a bunch of other companies. They picked up Fox. So they got all the X-Men movies, Fantastic Four. I mean, they had everything. They have everybody but Spider-Man, basically. So you could have restarted the MCU 2.0, whatever you want to call it, however you want to phrase it, a new MCU where you're starting off where the X-Men, the Avengers, they all exist. The Fantastic Four, they all exist in this timeline. So now you're not limited to just using a few specific characters. You can use all of these characters. Think about the world you could build. Think about they had a 10-year plan before. You could have a 20-year plan. Easily. Some of the actors, they're going to have to, the stories are going to have to progress, so they can retain their, they can look their appropriate age, but you could have a 20-year plan realistically, and have it all be leading up to one big bad guy at the end of 20 years. You could have, so your Thanos would be at the end of that 20-year span, and it could have been somebody else. But we need a good Alien versus Predator flick. Absolutely. Where they really cherish the characters, where they really go back to the feelings and the sense of like Aliens, the second movie, and then the first Predator movie. When they did that sequel, Predators, they kind of evoked a lot of the feelings and a lot of the cinematography or just the look of the first Predator movie into that movie. If they could do that, and maybe not make it so silly and campy and go for an R rating, a hard R rating, I think you got a winner. I think you absolutely got a winner. And you can even do some cameos from all the franchises. You can have Ripley. You can have Dutch. How? I don't know. I'm not about the how. I'm about the eating of the popcorn and watching. That's what I'm about. That's exactly what I'm about. Whoosh Ski is in the house saying DC Flash movie tanked this weekend. James Gunn, bring Cavill back. Yeah, that's what I mean. They had something good and they just destroyed it. They just threw the baby out with the bathwater to start over. And I don't know. You can't keep doing this. Nobody's going to get invested in what you do. Grant Gustafson for the win. Yeah. Spoiler. You say no or you say yes? I would have rather had him than Ezra Miller. I think that that was just a better character. Lisa Ford is in the house saying, "What's up, Fox?" Okay, we are 25 minutes in. I hope I said hi to at least the majority of you two stupid idiots. Come on, give yourself a little more credit. Put your minds together, become one average intelligence person. Average intelligent person. Sorry if said, but before. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry if said before, but what games does it include? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And then listen, so don't vote right now. Wait, and you can vote at the end of the show where we talk about everything that's going to be included. Okay, so we're 25 minutes in. We have got to get rolling. Man, everybody's here in the house. Biggie D is in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. What's up, everyone? All right, so let's go ahead and Cobra Kai, Never Die. What's up? It's time for the over-the-top sequel, Lincoln Hawk. Yeah, where they just started, the sequels were just basically the names of the main characters. Like, John Rambo was the last Rambo movie. Well, it was supposed to be the last Rambo, but Rocky Balboa was the last Rocky movie that was just about Rocky, not Creed. We're getting too deep in the woods here, but yes, exactly. I know exactly what I mean. Just meh. I got to read this one. The Predator movie with Winona Ryder. That was the Alien movie. That was like 4. That was like Aliens. That's when they just jumped. I think they jumped the shark on that one. Alien 4 was they just jumped the shark. That was bad. Unless there's a Predator movie with Winona Ryder in it. Wow. You could cross the streams with that woman. She could play a dual role. That's crazy. She's pretty good in Stranger Things. I like her. Okay, so everybody, I want to see a 70-year-old Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. He's all CGI. You can totally pull that off. Absolutely. Okay. I've said hi to everybody in the chat. We've talked about, I want to remind you about the poll real quick. Make sure that you check out the poll. Question, a simple question: are you going to buy the Casi-NO-cade at the current retail price? If they change it tomorrow, I have no idea. So that's what we're talking about in the poll. We're talking about everybody high in the chat. We're talking about what's in the glass. Let's go ahead and talk about the first topic. Could be something that nobody else is interested in, but damn it, I am. And it is. The Unico 26. The Unico 26-inch monitor is released officially now. It is out, and I have purchased one. So currently, if you go to the website right now, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see that the ULM26 Unico Phoenix series of arcade CRT replacement monitors is currently sold out. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So it's sold out right now. The 19-inch monitor is still up. The 26-inch monitor isn't even available. They took it down. I don't know if it's going to come back later. They did that with the 19-inch from time to time. So right now, you can currently get a 19, and then there's a placeholder for the 26, and that's it. So how much does it cost? What's going on? So there you go. That was the price. $319 shipped within the continental U.S., I would imagine. So I'm over here in Cincinnati. I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from. I think California. So that's how much that I paid. Yes, I got one. I got one monitor. I bought one monitor. I bought one. I was good. I was good for one big reason is because the thing we're about to read in a second is that they only had 50 for this first launch, this pre-order. Let me bring that back. This first pre-order was just going to be 50 monitors. So I only bought one, and I have an immediate need for one, but I'm definitely going to get more than one later on down the road, especially if this first one turns out like it should. Unico did post a couple days ago on their website. I'm sorry, this is a Facebook post on their Facebook page, Unico USA. You might want to check it out. 26-inch Phoenix monitor is active as promised. So the pre-order was active. Of course, it sold out within the first day, within the first few hours, I think. I'm not exactly sure how long it took, but it took less than a day for them to sell out of those 50. And once again, that's a good thing. Everyone who orders should get their order around the middle of July. Okay, so I haven't received an email yet with shipping notifications, but yeah, middle of July. All right, that's pretty awesome. So I'm excited about that. I did get mine in. And they announced that there's going to be another pre-order after this with 300 units. So the first pre-order chunk was 50. They got 300 going to be in the next group. So listen, if you want one, be patient. That should be coming up soon, whatever soon means. And then, if everything goes well, then you should be able to get that monitor in mid-August. So not a big, long lead time, not a big, long wait. Why did they do 50 and the 300? I don't really know why they just do 350 all at once or 400 or whatever, but this is the way they're going to do it. They're probably trying to just satisfy, hopefully they're just trying to satisfy their customers who have been waiting a very long time for this. And of course, a video is coming shortly of the 26-inch monitor in a Mortal Kombat cabinet, probably tomorrow or more to come. So there you go. So maybe tomorrow they're going to have that in the cabinet, but don't worry about anything because I'm going to have this thing as soon as I get it. I've got some testing I want to do myself. So what is the big deal with this? Who cares? It's a 26. We got flat screens or whatever. It is that aspect ratio. Even if you try to crop an image on a widescreen TV, you're going to go with like a 43-inch monitor. You're not going to get a full 26-inch experience. So you got to get this really big TV, and you're going to not use most of the real estate, and it's going to affect the cabinet that you want to make. If you're trying to recreate, the look inside, let's say you're going to build a cabinet from scratch or replace a monitor in an existing cabinet, you just can't do that. What ends up happening is what I have right here. So this is the monitor that is in my my Cruising World cabinet, and I knew this going in. This wasn't a big surprise. So I knew this was a flat screen monitor. I think this is like a 27-inch. I don't think it's quite a 32. Maybe I don't know. It might be a 32, but in any event, that's what I'm rocking in there right now. So you can see what I'm going to do with mine. Right off the bat, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to have to build a new mount because you can see. You can't see my mouse. I know the cursor, but the bolts on the left and right. So there's like 2 sets of bolts above and 2 sets of bolts below where that plywood thing is, that mount for that LCD monitor. Those are like the cross braces for supporting the CRT. The original CRT was supported by these big metal brackets these cross members that were inside the actually, yeah, soon. So I want to take this out and I want to maybe tie into those bolts. Even if I just make something wooden, I want to back the monitor up a little bit and try to get a replacement bezel to try to mimic the look as best I can. But you can see this is what I'm going to have to deal with. This is my immediate need. I have to get this taken care of. You can see that adapter over there on the right-hand side stuck to the wall. That takes the video from the board and converts that to an HDMI, and then you plug that into your TV. It's fine, but not what I want. Just really not what that cabinet needs or deserves. So that's one use, right? If you got your arcade, put it in there. You're watching this channel, you're probably interested in arcades and maybe coming up with some kind of a reasonable replacement for a CRT that's getting very difficult to find. You got to find a guy, you got to know a guy, and you're going to pay $300 if you have to buy one, sight unseen. But if you don't have one to get fixed, if you're going to buy one, a replacement is about $300. So I think that I did pretty good. It's not a bad deal. $320 for an LCD. I'm excited about that. Also, playing original consoles with that original form or that original aspect ratio, the 4:3. You start with like the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2, but go even farther back with like PlayStation 1 and 64. I mean, basically everything. If you have an old console and you want to use those old composite cables, just plug right in. And it's just going to be a very cool way to relive that experience. I've got a couple of flat screen TVs. They're 15 inches. You can still find those pre-HD 16:9s, these 4:3, but they're like 15-inch TVs. They're little bitty guys. They're small and they're fine. But man, wouldn't it be nice to have a 26-inch version of that? So even if you were just going to do that, and then make some kind of mount for it or make a dedicated console game station, like maybe kind of mimic some of those kiosks we saw in like GameStops. You could put that up there and then have like your PlayStation there, depending on how your living room is set out or your game room or your arcade. I've actually given that some thought. I've got these big CRTs. They take up a lot of room. What if I just take one of these and make like I'm talking about like a kiosk and then have one for each dedicated system? And so you kind of walk up to it, you stand up and you play it like the arcades are going to be in the arcade, right? The other machines. So that's something I've been thinking about, but yeah, I could definitely see that as being a legitimate reason to get one. But my number one main reason is going to be to replace that 16:9 monstrosity in my Cruising World cabinet. And it's fine. The installation was good, but for me, it just doesn't quite cut it. Everyone is loving their iArcade. Consumer confidence is high because Forbes magazine just named it the #1 home arcade investment of 2023. Good job, guys. Can't wait to see what you do next year. Just kidding. That's not what's going on with the iArcade at all. Not even close. It's been a little bit rough for them. So let's back this clock up. Last week, right here on this channel, we talked about how unfortunately they were gone. They had declared bankruptcy, not like Michael Scott. No, they actually did declare bankruptcy. And we were speculating about how much longer they had left, and they were talking about the store was going to close down and it wasn't going to close down, and you had to download your games and all this. But overall, it was sad. It wasn't good. And I was a little bummed, because I wanted to see the console do better. I wanted to see that company to do more and acquire more game titles, to further justify the purchase. The purchase price was kind of high. But hey, it is what it is. I wish you the best of luck, and away we go. And then I redirected you to another show. This guy called B, Kong's R Us, and he had the mystery encoder on, and they talked about the demise of the iiRcade and how really admirably, I think the mystery encoder and other hackers out there have been exercising a little bit of restraint, and they really haven't gone after the iiRcade that much. But now that they're, kind of going by the wayside, hey, it's going to be kind of a free for all bets are off. And of course the questions come up. Wow, it's man, you can't hack it. It's impossible. Can't be done. Well, mystery encoder kind of teased something. Actually, him and B got together before the show and really just showed off an exploit. Now, this is not a hack, really. This was just going to their website and, taking advantage of a little bit of an oversight, exploiting something on their website, just using a Google extension and a specific script. And once you run the script, hey, guess what happened? Well, what happened is they had some hidden games on their storefront that you could install, you could download. One of those was Metal Slug. Yeah, the Neo Geo game Metal Slug. And it was interesting to see that. Like, okay, cool. So there, right off the bat, you're going to be able to go and just sort of download these games. But they didn't just give the information away. They're like, listen, it's Sunday. They're going to close up shop on Wednesday. We'll release this like Tuesday night or something. We don't want to jump the gun. Want to be respectful of iiRcade and all what they've done and everything. So we're not going to release this just quite yet. To drive the point home after his show, I said, hey, B, we're friends. Come on. I'm on the inside, right? I'm on the up and up. Listen, I got to leave. I'm going to be gone away from iiRcade for a week. Why don't you just go ahead and slip me that script and I'll run it? And he said, no, listen, it's just, you get with mystery encoder, and if he lets you do it, that's fine. But he's trying to make sure that it's all in the up and up and make sure that everything runs right. And I said, that's fine. Let's just hold off. Because everything's fine. Because even though they're closing down shop on Wednesday, that doesn't mean that the store is going to be closed. Well, Fox, why are you saying that? Of course it will. It's Wednesday. They're going to shut it all down, right? Well, let's go back and look at the live stream. I clipped a little bit of a portion here. This is why there was some confusion. And I actually made this correction. They were talking about shutting it all down on Wednesday. But then I said, well, no, Jean said that, you'll still be able to purchase games and stuff beyond that. So the only thing that's ending on Wednesday is the sale. He said, you'll be able to purchase games until whoever buys the company shuts it down. Don't believe me? Check it out.
Cabinets, of course, we're going to keep the servers on as long as possible. Technically speaking, they're going to stay on until they get shut down by somebody else at this point, right? So, which is kind of cool. But officially, to buy games, you have until Wednesday of next week. So if you are looking to purchase games, you can still purchase games. At Wednesday, we will close out the store entirely. However, you will still have access to the store. So you can log into your account, log in on the machine, download all your games to the machine, do all that, preferably before Wednesday, honestly. But you have until then to purchase games at least too. And beyond that, you'll still be able to access your account essentially until the server gets shut down. When that is about, we can't really say. Probably at least a week, but I don't know. I can't really give you a definite date on that one because I don't actually have one, right? So our best suggestion is to download the games that you purchased to the machine. That still all works and everything like that too. And I'll stay on for
all that was good advice.
Online play and things like that too, of course, will go away when the servers go away. John, go ahead.
Yeah, but then John's going to chime in and add some confusion to the situation, which was not helpful.
So one correction: the game should be purchasable as well, but the sales, no, it's continuously purchasable until they shut the server
he just
down.
Said he's correcting Mike. He's like, listen, no. You're going to be able to purchase games beyond Wednesday. It's all still purchasable. The only thing that's going to end is the sales. We're not allowed to offer sales anymore because we're going to bankruptcy, but you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Which wasn't a big deal for me because I went ahead and downloaded everything because, like I said, I'm going to be gone for the week anyway. I thought, well, let me go ahead and download my stuff. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. And I also followed P-Dub's advice, and he's like, you know what, guys? P-Dubs is like, why don't you just go ahead and get rid of your credit card information just to be on the safe side? I thought, you know what, that's really not a bad idea at all. That's actually a really good idea. So I got rid of my credit card information, but other than that, it was fine. I did make sure that I had all my games downloaded, which they were, but I just want to make sure they were all there. I purchased like 4 games that I kind of had my eye on. Thought, well, let me go ahead and get those. But kind of based on what John was saying, I'm like, well, maybe later on I'll get some other games, or maybe even there'll be some new games coming. Who knows? Let's go ahead and continue.
Sales will end on Wednesday.
Okay, sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sale will end on Wednesday. So there we go. So this sale is extended past today until Wednesday at least too. That's as far as we've extended it. Beyond that,
and this is kind of funny, given what has happened this week. This is kind of funny.
Do make sure. So once the games are in your cabinet, though, of course, nothing's ripping them off of your cabinet. They are your digital purchases.
They are your digital purchases. You're never gonna. Now he is talking about purchased games. We'll get into the distinction in just a minute.
Are there for life. They're yours. Don't worry about that. They're not going to go anywhere. You can still play them. All the games that you purchased over time, you can still play them on your machine, on your iArcade stock, as is.
Well. Not exactly the case. So based on what we heard about, from Mystery Encoder, from Kongs R Us, the exploit of their store, that's all that it was. It wasn't a hack. It wasn't anything else. This is just going to be something that, this is going to be something we're going to release respectfully after they have shut down, after they have given up on their own store. But one thing I haven't given up on is Galaga Guy 88 with his super chat of $1.99. Like the shirt, huh? Yeah, pretty good. I'm a big, goofy, dumb, stupid Dragon Ball Z fan, but unfortunately, I've already used that for somebody else, which means I hate to say it, but you know what's going to happen. Galaga Guy, buddy, you're going to the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
So young, so sad. So okay, so the exploit, they're going to kind of release that script on Tuesday night. Okay, no big deal. But listen, based on what John said, Wednesday, the store is not going to go anywhere anyway. So this is something we're going to be able to have plenty of time to play with later on. I thought, well, hell, I'll get home this weekend and I'll mess around with it. Maybe I'll download that Metal Slug. That'd be cool. Kind of a parting gift almost from Arcade One or iArcade for supporting them. Well, but then this happened. So Wednesday morning, you go to the store and this is all that's there. And I said, damn, okay, that's weird. But so you kind of freak out, right? You see that and you're upset, you're concerned. You're like, what do you mean? What's going on? And then you jump over here and like, okay, well, at least my games are still here. So that's good. So I thought nothing else of it until I started hearing stuff from other people. First off, the first thing I heard was that what they did is they went in and they removed the Metal Slug game from that list of games. It was like 6 games that you could download that weren't really no big deal. Okay, that's fine. That was like the one game that I wanted. So that kind of sucks. So once I heard that they kind of removed that as an option, well, I gave up. I'm like, the other games I'll check out whenever. I'm not really concerned about it. But that was kind of odd. And then it started getting worse and worse and worse. So Zhang came out and got mad and said some things. I'm not going to get into everything. Who said, he said, she said this. I don't want to get into all that, but I do want to, note that the response was weird from a company that has just filed bankruptcy, that is just done. They've just closed the door. Why are we so fired up about this now, about these random 5 or 6 games that really you allowed to be? I mean, you didn't offer them for sale. You didn't make it legit, but this was just an exploit. They were just exploiting a weakness in your website. It's a little bit odd that you would kind of react like this. And then I heard that they actually went to your cabinets. And if you downloaded those games, they took them away. Wow. Really? You did? Are you sure? That seems a little bit weird. That seems a little bit violative, especially after you guys have already, you said you've declared bankruptcy. Your store is a ghost land. There's nothing there, but you're going to take the time to go into everybody's arcade and remove the games that they download. No, they didn't download them legitly. You stole what they stole from you. They stole it fair and square and you're stealing it back. I admit it's a gray area, But doesn't that seem just a little bit shady to have them go onto your cabinet and take something off of your cabinet? I mean, it's not like you put in a new operating system. You used Linux and you did some crazy weird. But even if you did, isn't that your machine? Isn't that your device that you bought, you purchased? And if you uploaded something to that device that isn't legit, what right do they have to go onto your machine and remove something? I didn't like that at all. I didn't like it one bit, but one thing I do like is a super chat from Kevin Clausen, $5. Thank you so much, man, for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. Zhang has gone crazy, irresponsible stuff, but not as irresponsible as this super chat from Kevin Clausen. That's Kevin. You worked in your own segue. I do like it. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate your support. Absolutely. Working it in there. Thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. Really do appreciate it. Here you go.
Let's go.
Wolverine win! Rookie.
I do like how I transition into your super chat. I segue into your super chat, which also contains its own segue. It's very meta. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, that to me was to go onto your store website and to remove something, make it inaccessible. You kind of expect that reaction when you exploit something on a game. You expect them to come up and fix it, right? It's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's their website. They can do what they want to with it. To go on to customers' machines and remove something, holy testicle Tuesday, that's not right. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to make this judgment call right now. It's not right to go onto your machine and take your stuff. And sort of caught in the middle of all this was Mystery Encoder. While maybe shady, he may be shrouded in mystery, hence the name. I think for the most part, Mystery Encoder was kind of being on the up and up, was kind of being very fair. From the live stream that I was watching that he was on with B, I think that he could have absolutely just, hey, yeah, here's, put the script that you have to run in the chat, and just boom, here you go, blow it up. Who cares? I know it's Sunday. These guys are shutting down shop on Wednesday, but who cares? Blow it up. That didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. It seemed like a fairly reasonable way to go about it. I mean, for the most part, it's like, hey, listen, we'll give them to Wednesday, but they've already, said that they're done. To see that level of sort of, I don't know, I would think you have a bunch of other stuff to do, the bankruptcy, the shutting down the company and all that, to take the time to go back and take something off of somebody's. At this point, what the hell does it matter? What does it matter? And then I also heard that some of those developers actually wanted those games on your cabinet to begin with. So I thought that I'm going to go ahead and give Mystery Coder a platform to maybe reach out to some of you. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. When they gave this announcement, I got out of the iArcade community. There was a group that was on Facebook, and I got out of there. Like I said, one of the reasons why the system failed, the company failed, the product, I guess, failed, was that some of these fanatical customers just made it intolerable. And so I wanted to get away from some of that. Still friends with a lot of the people, just separately away from that group. I didn't want to get into that community group. Boy, did I jump out a little too early because it just got crazy. So, but I did want to go ahead and give Mystery Coder an opportunity to kind of address some stuff and use my platform to kind of boost this. Now, this is actually from Messiah's Gaming. This is from his community post or their community post. So give credit where credit is due. Check him out. He's the one that's been kind of shining a light on a lot of this stuff kind of behind the scenes with iArcade. But Messiah reposted Mystery Encoder's, post within the iArcade community as a way to kind of get the message out, get his point of view out, because it was kind of being, a little bit, they were kind of trying to snuff it out, and it seemed a little bit unfair to me. So I thought that all this going on, instead of pointing a finger at this person and freaking out on him, maybe give them a chance to speak. So I'm not going to read everything, but there were several points made by Mystery Encoder. And one, the very first one is, well, I didn't hack anything. That was the number one thing you can see. I didn't hack anything. Hack is the wrong term, and I agree. It was a script. Simple as that. The bandwidth concern, this is the number 2 portion. I'm just going to kind of highlight these. You can definitely go over to Messiah Gaming's community post and check this out in a little more detail. I think if you're still in the iArcade group, you can check that out also. But number 2 is that the bandwidth concern is kind of dumb. This is one of the things that Zhang raised. It didn't make a lot of sense to me either. But, even in this point, I think Mystery Encoder is conceding a little bit and says, yeah, you're eating the cost of the free games, but you're telling me that if I delete and reinstall a game 100 times, I'm costing you money for a game I've already bought. How is that sustainable? It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I mean, if I purchased a game with my money, if I delete it and just keep doing that, I'm eating up your bandwidth. Seems a little bit weird. Number 3, some of the developers involved actually wanted their games distributed. Your reasoning for being mad or not wanting their game out there is you don't release unfinished games, apps, whatever. But then he brings up Jukebox still in beta. It's kind of weird. Zhangpong. I mean, it's not, that was a weird point to make too, when not every game is 100% finished, 100% complete. But listen, if you're locked in with a developer who doesn't want you to release a game, you're going to make these excuses. But you have a developer who wants you to release the game. I'm not sure why you're taking the time to come up with excuses why you're not going to release it. Number 4, Mr. Encoder says, I'll agree that some games shouldn't have been included in that script. Okay, that seems fair. But I disagree that it hacked anything. And this is, I think, a big point of contention. No one is hacking your system. We are exploiting something in your website, or we were. Mystery Encoder was. Those of us who took advantage of it, we were just exploiting a gap in your security, a little bit of a fault within your website. And the reaction, I don't think, is justified given the infraction, given what we did. Ooh, that was a rhyme. I didn't even know it. That's good. Moving on. So number 5, and this is his opinion. He said, you acted recklessly and believe vindictively in the method of removing those games. Now, this is something you've got to really give some thought to. I definitely see both sides here, but the big thing for me is going into my cabinet and removing something, especially when you've told us all that you're done, that you're bankrupt, that the company's closing shop. It's really, really weird. But he says, I believe you acted recklessly and vindictively in the method of removing those games, including the ones developers wanted out there, retroactively pulling the data from people's cabinets. That crosses a line, I'm telling you. The reason this was reckless is it was a mass removal and something you've never done before, as well as something that wasn't properly QA tested in the final days of your company. You risked breaking cabinets of your family. Now, the point that he's making there is that you just removed software, a mass removal from all your entire customer base. What if you brick some systems? What if you shut down cabinets in this act of removing stuff? Now, maybe they did beta test. Maybe they did try this out. Maybe they knew it was safe, but I don't know. I just don't like the fact you're going to reach into my cabinet and take something when I've been giving you money, when I've been buying games from you. And even if I was able to kind of, get one by you at this point in the game, what does it matter? What does it matter? So it's very shady. That's like the biggest problem I had. I really was okay with everything that happened until they started taking games off of people's cabinets, removing data from another person's property. That's really kind of sketchy. You guys, and this is number 6, you guys slated installed preloaded games would work even if the servers were offline. That was a lie, as people just found out. So I'm not even aware of that yet. Like I said, I just got home Friday, so that's really messed up. Yeah, you're basically rendering some of these games completely useless because the servers, even though they're still online, they're just not, I guess they're not working. Number 8, I awaited a year to release anything. Okay, now here's a point there. He's kind of tooting his own horn, but to be fair, I think it's fair, right? I said this in the beginning. Like, they didn't come out the gate swinging. They knew they had a small install base. They didn't want to try to blow up any potential earnings that iArcade could make. And I could be a little bit one-sided, maybe. I don't know. I could be just looking at this through rose-colored glasses, but I think that, to me, this seems legit. But anyway, he says, I waited a year to release anything, any information whatsoever, because I didn't want to harm you, your company, community, or your ecosystem. Yet you end your post essentially attacking me and people like me, saying that not to support hackers or modders while also promoting a third-party solution, which is another really, really weird thing. You got to think about this. the silver lining of their presentation, their last live stream, when they talked about how they were going under, their silver lining was Glenn was a modder, a third-party solution. Somebody else was going to come in and they were going to extend the life of your product. But then you're going to bash modders, hackers. I can kind of see where you're going if you believe that theft is involved. But once again, this really wasn't a hack. This was just exploiting your website. And yeah, to the irony of as this is going on, to lean on Glenn, a modder, a third party, and say, please help us extend the life of our product. And then 9 was the people who own these cabinets own the hardware inside of them, not you anymore. You went bankrupt. You didn't license this hardware to people. They bought it, and it's no longer going to be connected to your services or under your control. So you have no say in how people use it and what they do with it. And that's basically my position, especially with the way things have gone now. Listen, if I buy an Iarcade 1-up and I mod it, and if I upload a bunch of games to the PCB and it's running all kind of hacked stuff, that's my right to do that. Now, if I try to take that and sell it, okay, maybe that's, if I try to pawn this off as an official Iarcade 1-up thing, sure. But this is ours. We bought it. Okay. I mean, especially go back to the and I'm not in this group, but go back to the Kickstarters that supported you from the very beginning. They bought those cabinets. That is their right. Once they sneak something on there, you have no right to go in there and take it off. That's messed up, man. I mean, I paid $800 for my gold cabinet. What? So you're going to get in there, and if you don't like something, you're going to take it off? That was shady. That was wrong. And I think that, it's really a bad way to end it all. Listen, of all the times to get upset, of all the times to get fired up, as of now, you have announced you're declaring bankruptcy. What potential revenue were you going to lose? Honestly, what potential revenue were you going to lose? And if Neo Geo found out that we got Metal Slug 1 from your website, they're not going to be mad because we had to, exploit your website to do it. And once again, you're filing for bankruptcy. So have you opened yourself up to a lawsuit? Is that even possible? You think that Neo Geo, that whoever owns those rights, could go after you? If you were maybe selling the game, sure. But I think it's a moot point, at this point. And at the very end, to have it in this way, I don't know. I don't know what's going on inside Zhang's head. Probably a lot of, frustration, probably a lot of disappointment, to see the company in like that. A lot of effort, quality product. But man, that was rough. That was rough. It's not the way to go, in my opinion. It is what it is at this point. Now, listen, you want to modify your website so this can't happen again. You want to shut your website down and your store down. That's fine. That's your website. That is your website. But as far as these cabinets, they're not yours anymore. They're ours. At least that's the way I see it. Oh, exciting times. The Casi-No-cade. It's coming out. It's coming out. So listen, the Casi-No-cade was part of those initial sort of, not leaks, but releases from Iarcade 1-up, talking about the deluxes, and this was going to be one of those deluxes, and wasn't quite the deluxe that we wanted, but hey, it's still part of that group, right? And then it disappeared. That and Miss Pac-Man disappeared, and we didn't know where they went. And we were told that the Casi-No-cade was being revamped, retooled, changing it up. We got to rethink our position on this product. We got to do all this, and we didn't really know what the price was. A lot of people thought it was $5.99. I think it was sort of written. I think what did we do? We looked at the Klarna, the 4 payments from Klarna. We figured out that it was going to be $5.99. But then when I saw all the other deluxe cabinets coming out at $4.99, I figured that's where it would land, especially since it's got like a 10-inch screen and an 8-inch screen. So it came out. It came out and it was $4.99. So I did a community post. Hey, here it is. It looks exactly the same as it was. And guess what? It's the price that I kind of thought it was going to be. Then a day went by. Then a day went by. So 6/20 it comes out. It's on their website. It's $4.99. It's not for sale yet. It's not available yet, but it's the notify button is up. It says notify me, $4.99. You're welcome. $4.99. Then the very next day, scratch that. How about $5.99? $4.99 is a little too cheap. Let's go with $5.99. So Iarcade went up. Listen, here's what you had one job. You had one job this week and last week. iArcade is burning it down. iArcade is on fire, fuming, smoldering. All you had to do was sit back and not be crazy. That's all you had to do. You had one job. Just sit there. Just don't be crazy. Listen, all we got to do is let's just not. I mean, listen, I love how your monthly show comes out every 3 months. You know, your update is fine. Okay, fine. Quiet is probably the better way to go here. Relax. So if you're going to do anything this time, like within these 2 weeks, just be bland and boring. And here it is. But you even screwed that up. You just can't get it right, can you? So why $4.99? What are you doing here? What are you doing? $4.99, $5.99. Make up your damn mind. It's $100, man. Dan, what the hell are you doing? A fifth the price. You increased it. What are you doing? So make up your damn mind. So let's just go right off the bat. So the design didn't change at all. The design didn't change in any way, shape, or form. It looks exactly the same unless they're using the same renders, and it did change, which would be like doubly crazy. It makes no damn sense. Why the hell would you do that? But okay, let's just assume that this render is an actual accurate render. It's not different at all. It's exactly the same thing that went away, and then you brought it back. So did they just put too many cabinets out there in the beginning, and they wanted to pull back and release things a little bit here, a little bit there? Okay, fine, whatever. But it's exactly the same thing. You come out, everybody's excited. Well, I don't know that everybody was excited, but whoever was looking forward to this was probably happy that this is going to be, okay, it's $500. Okay, that's what the deluxe cabinets are. 500. Okay, that's fine. That's exciting. $5.99. Like, what are you doing? So this is equal to what? What is it? Is Fast and Furious? Well, God, if it was equal to Fast and Furious, that's not a compliment. You think this is equal to the re-release of Star Wars? Really? Star Wars? You know, when I was more excited about this, and I've never been excited, but when I was more interested is when it looked like this. Now, I know it didn't actually look like this, but this was a part of that announcement. You remember the Partycades? And they had the pull handles, and you could get them in different variants. You had all these different skins, and maybe the games list was exactly the same, but you could get whatever skin you wanted. If you wanted Let's Make a Deal, we could make a deal. If you wanted Jeopardy, you could ask that question. If you wanted Wheel of Fortune, you could buy a vowel, and so forth and so on. Price is Right. Marilyn Monroe, for some reason. Elvis is over there, and I don't know what the one on the bottom left is because it's illegible. But at least these were a little more interesting. It was something different. You had the mechanic of kind of pulling on the slot machine. You had a 17-inch monitor, which is not what you have at all with this atrocious garbage. With this Casi-NO-cade. You've got a 10-inch monitor as your main monitor. It is touchscreen, but it is still just a 10-inch monitor, 10.1. I apologize, 10.1. And then you've got that 8-inch monitor, which looks like that's going to be out of the countercades, a much better product than what we're looking at now. That little 8-inch monitor, and if it is the same monitor, that's actually going to be really good because that monitor is super clean. So that's good. But the 10-inch monitor, we haven't seen Iarcade want to do that yet. I hope it's of the same quality as that 8-inch because that 8-inch looks really good. So you got an 8-inch up top. You have the 10-inch touchscreen right there in your face, and it's 63 inches tall. It's unchanged from the original design. Maybe there's something graphically different. Maybe the stickers, maybe the decals. I have no idea. I'm really trying to be objective here, but I'm struggling, having a little bit of a problem. I have a little bit of an issue. I'm working on it. It's a personal problem. It's not you. It's me. I got to work on that. But so that's what you're looking at there. And it's odd to think about this application. So, all right. All right. This is me trying to calm down. Let me have a drink. That's, you know what? I need a drink. That's what we need. So you have buttons on this Casi-No-cade. You have buttons on this. Buttons for pushing, because that's what buttons are. That's what buttons do. They're pushed. But then you have a touchscreen. Okay. So I have a 10-inch touchscreen. So I have an iPad in front of me. But instead of having the convenience of putting the iPad in my lap and sitting on a couch, I'm forced to stand up now and only interact with the touchscreen during certain portions of the gameplay, because I got these buttons here that I'm also going to push. So I'm going to push the buttons, but then I got the touchscreen, and maybe the touchscreen is only for certain games, but it's basically a very elaborate iPad stand with an 8-inch screen above that's just there for flashy lights and interactive stuff. Are you seeing the $600 value? I'm not really seeing it. Not really seeing the value at all. Now you're looking at that graphic. I can't really see. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the website real quick so I can take a look. I'm gonna read you the games list while we're looking at this, because I can't see a damn thing. It's just a little too small. But to me, it doesn't. Once again, I think you kind of know where I'm going. I'm not excited about this one. Do you think Fox is gonna buy this at retail? You think I'm gonna buy this at retail? I'm gonna go ahead and give you a no on that one. I'm not buying it retail, and I'm finding it difficult to justify the price of the $5.99. I just don't get. I just don't understand. I mean, what's the point of having buttons if you also have a touchscreen? But you're justifying the fact that the screen is small because it's a touchscreen. But why the hell do I have it? Why do I have a touchscreen if I've got buttons? Damn it, I've got buttons. I don't understand. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not that intelligent. But let's go ahead and take a look at the games list. I think. Here we go. Click this. Okay, so the games list are as follows. You're going to have Wheel of Fortune, Puzzle Mania, Wheel of Fortune Big Wheel Spin, Wheel of Fortune Bonus Cards, and Wheel of Fortune Free Spin Mania. Those are the included games that you have access to right off the bat. But then there's 20 unlockable playground games. Buckle up, kids. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Baccarat, Bingo, Blackjack, Caribbean Stud Poker. Okay. Craps is what we're doing all right now. Deuces Wild, Fruit Burst, Gumdrop Blocks, Jack or Better, Joker Poker, Klondike Solitaire, Mahjong Deluxe. Nothing like playing Mahjong on a touchscreen that you have to stand up and interact with. Pocow Poker, Photo Hunter, Roulette, 3-card Poker, Tri-Peaks Solitaire, Ultimate Sudoku. God, I'm going to have to stand up and do Sudoku. Okay, but this is Ultimate Sudoku, so it's very different. Wordplay, Word Waffle, and many more. God. So I find myself at a loss. I find myself, struggling. And when I do find myself struggling, it's always nice to rely on a super chat from DLW Plays Games $4.99. Thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Fox, I got to ask you, did you get some ideas from my Shack Cab? I did it with the hat buttons and sticks, blacked out the kick plate, and double lit coin doors. No, but I see how you wound up me on the double coin doors. Nice job. I couldn't justify the cost of that, but it's a good idea. And if you did it before me, congratulations. You, sir, are a badass. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. And I got to give you something a little bit special. Don't have an NBA Jam one, but I do have. Ooh, this one. It's going to hurt.
Finish him. Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I bet the double coin doors look really good. So yeah, so this, I gotta be honest with you. I know the target audience is probably the model on the far left of this picture, and I mean, I think she may like it, probably because I'm assuming she's smiling because she was paid to smile. But let's be honest. If you're interested in this games list, if you're interested in this at all, if you're interested in interacting with a 10-inch touchscreen, you've already bought an iPad and you sit down to play it. I don't understand. I'm admitting my limitations here. I'm admitting the fact that I don't get this. especially at $600. It just kind of boggles the mind. I understand that you're trying to diversify your product. You're trying to go a little bit wider scope, cast a bigger net, get more customers in. I totally understand that. But I think you would have a better chance of doing something like this, where you have that interactive slot machine sort of feel and a big 17-inch monitor, the thing that you put on in everything that you own. I think you have a better shot at something like this, or even a stand-up version of this, than this. I mean, I just don't get it. And the upping of the price, it seems a little bit shady, but this, I just don't get this at all. I just don't get, I don't understand this at all. And to have 20 unlockable mini games, I don't get it. This is of all the form factors that our Arcade 1-Up has done, and they've done a lot of them, and most of them have failed. This seems like something that could fail. But I hear from a lot of you that you like it. I hear a lot of you are excited about it. A lot of my wife wants it. My wife is into this. My wife wants to do this. A lot of you poker fans are into this. Maybe that's the case. But I think that the experience is going to be really limited when you're talking about going from that a standard 17-inch monitor, which we all admit is probably not the biggest, is not the best. I think the 19-inch is better, not the best, but I think the 19-inch is much better. The 17 definitely feels a little small. I know you got shiny lights on the side, but that just feels gimmicky and silly to me when you could have a bigger monitor and you could mimic that within the graphical interface of the game. And so all the decals could just be static and you wouldn't need all the additional hardware. I mean, the wiring, LEDs aren't expensive, but the cost of having to wire this stuff and to install these LEDs behind and all these little lights that are going to have to be affixed behind the display. And I just don't understand it. To me, why didn't you just go with the 17-inch monitor? Or maybe even a 19-inch monitor. Go with static lighting above. It's just like a marquee, right? And then have like a 19-inch monitor in this deluxe form factor. That could have been a way that you could have kind of pushed this a little bit more forward. I think a big, bright display is what this needed to make a little more sense, especially when you go beyond $500 retail. You're going to have to do something. And I just really think that this is going to feel like a toy when you walk up to it and it's got a 10-inch screen. It's not, where's my, here. This is a 10-inch screen. This is little, my laptop is 15 and a half. 15.6. That's a really small screen. And for that to be your main interaction point and to have to stand up and interact with this thing, I'm just not getting it. I just don't understand. But hey, listen, maybe that's just because, I'm not the target audience, I guess. And that's fair. And that's absolutely fair. Not everything has to be made for me. But if you want, me to spend money on something, well, you need to, make something that I like. Oh. Would you look at that?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Unfortunately, it is that time to go ahead and wrap it up for today. But before we do that, we got to look at that poll. Now, some of you have asked if this is a real poll question. Yes, this is a real poll question. This is no sarcasm. I was curious because this is the question that Arcade 1-Up is asking you. And I really hope they're asking themselves, hey, do we expect people to buy this stuff for $5.99? So I'm asking you. So 210 votes. We got over 200 votes. Thank you so much, everybody who voted in the poll. And the poll question is simply this: are you going to buy the Casi-NO-cade at full retail? I'm going to go ahead and give you a firm no on this. And let's go ahead and end the poll now with 210 votes and with a resounding 92% of the people in this audience, you agree with me. A big old fat no, not going to happen. So I think that maybe is not the most scientific way to go about it, but I think it's fair to say that the price is a little high, just a smidge. I think it's a lot. I think you kind of overshot. I think you overestimated the excitement of this in the market for sure. So definitely, maybe you want to rethink this. Maybe that $4.99. Maybe you should have gone with your gut. Maybe your $4.99 was a better option. Maybe $4.99 would have been a better way to go. I think it's going to be difficult to feel to really see the value there when you're talking about something like this. But you know what is easy to see as far as value? is a super chat. $5 from Gallagher Guy 88. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. They gambled at the low price and lost. I see what you did there. $5.99 or bust. House wins. By the way, that's 10 inches. Yes, that it's an iPad, bro. It is an iPad, not an iPad Pro. It's an iPad. Thank you so much again for another super chat. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. And let me give you something. You know what? Where is it at? Let me give you something a little bit special. Here you go.
Finish him. Scorpion wins. Fatality.
That's going to sting. So everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. Don't work too hard. Work just hard enough to get paid, but don't work too hard. I'm going to go down to Puerto Rico. I'm going to be back Friday. Going to get a lot more work done on the arcade, and I will see you right here. I'll be right here next week. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Hopefully, maybe not stuff that involves like an arcade company, hacking into your system and then taking games and stuff off your arcade. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by and checking out the channel. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see all of you next time. Peace.